Good evening, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are tuning in today. Listen, welcome to Sip and Chat with Lynn. I am Lynn Tate, your gracious host for this next half hour. And baby, I am super excited to be with you guys tonight. Why do you ask? Because I have yet another amazing guest that I cannot wait to sit down and chat with. But listen, you know what you need to do. Come on in, make sure that you like and share this video. Why? Because someone out there needs to see it. And baby, Lynn doesn't know him, but guess who does? You do. So you go ahead, make sure you share this episode. And then after you do that, make sure you join the conversation. We're watching you in the comments. Go ahead and join the conversation and just talk back and forth with us tonight. We're super excited. All right. So make sure you guys go ahead and connect as well. I got to tell you this because, as you know, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, Sip and Chat with Lynn is an extension of the blog Recognizing the Real Me. It is the place where we talk about the journey to your authentic purpose. And listen, everybody's journey is different, but one thing's for sure and for certain, there is a journey. You don't just arrive there. You definitely go through a journey to get there. The blog and this show is meant to encourage you along the way, right? Right. Okay. So without further ado, she is a soon-to-be author. I had to say that. She's a soon-to-be author. She is a coach and she is a speaker, and she is none other than Miss Suzanne Smart. Welcome, Suzanne.
Hi, Lynn. It's so good to be here.
Yes. Oh, it has been a long time coming, honey. A long time coming. But I'm so grateful to have you with me tonight. Now, before we get started, this is a sip and chat. So what are you sipping on tonight?
I am sipping on my strawberry tea here.
Yes, strawberry tea. That sounds so scrumptious. Well, tonight I am working on hydrating, so I'm drinking some good old agua. Got my water in here, so but it's still yummy. Maybe not as good as your strawberry tea, but it's still yummy.
I'm sure it is.
So, how have you been doing?
I've been doing great. I did have a little setback, which you know about, a back injury which has flared up. But you know, I do believe that all things come together for good. Yes. And it's given me time for some reflection, some more inner work, because you never finish that, do you?
Never.
Always evolving. So yeah, it's been an interesting time. Let's put it that way. But yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said that, because I think I've probably said this on the show before, but it is so true. You are constantly working on you. The work on you never stops, because we are always evolving as we continue to go on in life. If you're doing the right things, you're going to evolve. You're going to be changing along the way. And so you're always learning new things about yourself, because every stage there is something different and something more to learn. So I'm glad you pointed that out. Yes, the inner work is necessary, and it is a daily thing. Daily,
every second of the day. And I think it's a law of nature. For me anyway, it's a law of nature, because if you're not thriving, you're dying. Yeah. You know, you look at cut flowers, once they're growing, you know, you see them and they thrive and they're blooming. Once you cut them, that's it. They start the dying process, you know.
Yes.
So I honestly believe it's a daily process. Every second of the day, You've got to be working on you.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, let me just say before we get real good into the conversation, thank you so much for staying up with me tonight. Because for you guys that don't know, my friend is joining me all the way from the UK, the other side of the pond. And so she stayed up just to talk to me tonight. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But why
Absolutely, my
don't you
pleasure.
tell our viewers a little bit about you? Who is Suzanne Smart?
Okay, so Suzanne Smart is a mum, very proud mum, very proud grandma, or as we say in Wales, mamgi. Mamgi is Welsh for grandma, but I thought, they've already got a grandma, they've already got a nan. I've got to be me, so I'm
You got to be
mamgi.
you. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm a transformational coach. I also teach and I facilitate workshops on racial microaggression and unconscious bias. So I've got, quite a wide repertoire, but where I'm really heading is towards the coaching right now, helping women who have been through toxic relationships, through narcissism, physical, sexual abuse, helping them to transcend those past hurts and those fears, the guilt, the
Yeah.
shame, the frustration, the recrimination, the judgment, and to just basically be at peace with the past so that they can then move on. Women, I find, not just women, but especially women, their whole lives, it's all about everybody else. But there
Yes.
comes a time when, we think, right, okay, now it's time for me to step up. And if you've been through a toxic relationship or you've been abused in any way, that then presents as a brick wall. You have to that before you can move on with your life. You have to, because that brick wall, the minute you think, right, I'm going to do something now, it shows as imposter syndrome, but it's that brick wall or that glass ceiling that just comes bang, whoop, there it is again,
Right.
and it's there. You might break through for a little while, but boom, if you don't sort it, it's there forever.
Yeah. Which goes back to daily work.
There you
It's a
go. Mhm.
ongoing process, especially when you're healing. It's a day by day, step by step process. And it does not mean, one, it doesn't mean that you'll never be healed, but it just means that once you get to a certain point, you have to maintain your healing because there will be circumstances and situations that will come along. And just like you said, try to make you feel like you're right back where you came from, but you're not. It's an illusion to set you back. So you have to work daily on your healing and then daily to maintain your healing once you get to a certain point. So I love that you brought that up. So
So
usually
usual.
what I have found is in my journey to my authentic path and to being my authentic self, a lot of the things that I went through, the trials, the tribulations that I went through in life, they were a direct reflection of what I'm doing now and where I was called to be in my authentic path. You know what I mean? From lack of self confidence, not understanding the value in me, not understanding my worth and who I am, and that it's okay to be uniquely different from everyone else because we each are uniquely different. But going through that whole process of, like you said, the imposter syndrome, where basically you're trying to fit into this paradigm and this box that other people have set for you. And so now the work that I'm doing is just that, to help people surpass that and understand that, baby, it's okay to be different. Like there is value in you being different. And if you have weaknesses, that's okay too. Because we each have weaknesses, but we each have strengths. And so if you find your strength and you walk in your strength, then guess what? You'll find someone and connect with someone else who is strong in your weak areas, and you complement each other and you're able to walk forward. So I know for me, that was something that I went through. Basically, I called it being a victim of identity theft, made to believe that I was something that I was not. And so now I'm freed myself of that, but it's a daily process. So for you, what was your moment, your thing that brought you to where you are?
Okay. There were a few kind of moments of clarity, but I think the main one for me was just this burning desire within me that said, "You are better than this," you know.
Yeah.
And it was I went out for my birthday, and I was with my ex-husband at the time, and we went out to a bar. We walked there. It was a 15-minute walk. Wonderful night, beautiful night. And then on the way home, just these ranting and raging and, real angry outbursts. And where did that come from? We've had this beautiful evening.
Yeah.
And I went home and I thought, right, okay, I have to make a decision now. And it was really strange because about 3 or 4 years ago, I found my old journals. And on that date, I had written, need to find a place for me and my children to live in safety, you know. But
Yes.
that was the final moment of clarity. And I thought, no, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And when people say to me, what made you kind of start on that road to doing your coaching program, I always say I'd had two narcissistic relationships, and I said I would never survive a third.
Oh
So
wow.
something had to change. And I thought, right, okay, so there is something there with me, why I keep um veering towards
That
these
type of
unhealthy
relationship.
relationships.
Yes. I'm
What is
so
it?
glad you brought that up
What is
because
it? Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, did you ever
that
find
with me.
that thing? Yeah, what was that thing within you? Because that's the thing that we miss sometimes.
Yeah,
We're so
yeah,
quick, not everyone. There are some who have done the work and understand, but most people look outwardly at the person and say, "Oh, it's them, it's them, it's them." But we don't look inwardly to see what role did I play in this and what have I been projecting to keep attracting this type of relationship. So I certainly was getting ready to ask you, did you find out what that thing was that kept drawing you to that type of relationship? We think
absolutely.
like we think alike, we think alike.
Absolutely. Yeah, but like I said, everything starts, within. And I just thought, you know what? When I looked into it, it went way back into my past, and it was, from other instances of abuse when I was much younger by people who should have known better, and it's always people that should know better.
Yeah.
So and I thought, what is it? Have I got this flashing light on my head saying, "Come and get me"? I'm here, ready and waiting. Come and get
The
me.
bullseye on your forehead that says,
Yes,
"Here you
yes,
go.
yes,
I'm your target."
yes.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
right. All those who are, ready to just come and abuse, come. I'm here. I'm here. Come and do it. And I thought,
Yes.
no, that has to stop. I need to find out where that's coming from.
Yes.
And yeah, it was so liberating. It's very scary at first because you have to look deep into yourself
Yep.
and decipher, pull everything apart, and then put it all back together again. But I tell you what, it was the best move, the first move and the best move that I ever did. And I'm just so thankful and grateful that I was of the mind to do that. So
Yeah.
grateful.
Awesome sauce. So, what was it? I want to know what exactly it was. If you don't
Okay,
mind showing.
so
I mean, if you
No,
don't
no,
mind
no, not
sharing.
at all. Sharing.
Yeah.
No, I will share, because that's how, if I don't share, I'm not helping anybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so from a very early age, I was abused. I won't say who by,
Mm-hmm.
because that's now in the past. And I think from there, I kind of carried that flag, I think with vulnerable people, if you've been through something, or if you are a predator, you can look and know where the vulnerability lies instantly. And I think that was it.
Yeah.
I wore that, like, didn't realize, but I wore it like a badge of honor, and
Yeah.
looking back, certain instances, I think, oh my goodness, just the way I held my head, the way I would walk sometimes. And, I was a happy-go-lucky
Mm.
person, but there was always this ball inside of me that said, that started to grow and say, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are to want to do that? Who do you think you are to want, to get a degree? Who do you think you are? Who do you
Yeah.
think you are to be telling people that, they've got a nugget of gold inside them? Who do you think you are to preach the gospel?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are to evangelize? Who do you think you are to tell any about anything, tell anybody about anything, when there's this knot inside of you that's just getting bigger and heavier
Yeah.
and denser, and weighing you down.
Yeah.
And, it got to the stage where I was so obsessed with my own children that I never let them go. And not, I would let them do things. They were always very, very active. But, they joined Scouts and Beavers and Cubs. And I joined the Scouts Association. I would volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
They did
Yeah.
dancing and singing. I volunteered.
Yeah.
Everywhere they were, I was, because I thought, I'm not handing my child
About to say, Mama
over to
Bear. Mama
them.
Bear
I
came
am not
in.
not
Yeah.
not my babies.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
not handing them over to anybody for them to sully them. They're my
Right.
child, they're my gift. So, you know, I'll be there. And I thought, not on my watch is that happening. So,
I
so
know. I
anywhere they
completely.
were,
I
I was
understand
there.
because it's like that's the way you knew to protect your children. So
Yeah,
because you didn't want them to repeat what you had already gone through.
at all.
So
Not at
no,
all.
I totally get that, but but I totally understand where you're coming from in the sense that you carried it like a badge of honor, not meaning to, but at the same time, when you've been violated, it does make you feel like you said, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are to do that? You know what I mean? You're not worthy of that. You're not worthy of someone loving you. And then you begin to look at the toxic relationship is, oh, they treat me like that because they love me. But that's because in most toxic relationships, people make you feel like that, like you'll never have anybody better than me. They lie to you. These other people lie to you. I tell you the truth because I love you. And so
Yes.
you're basically taught and constantly beat down to believe that that's what love looks like, but it's not. And then even obsessing over your children, they don't understand why you're doing that. You understand, but it's like your way. That's another thing that you're doing is you're throwing yourself into them to prevent this monstrous thing from happening to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but you're still losing yourself in the process. And it doesn't help that you're still with people that treat you horrible.
Yeah. Less
Yeah,
than human. you know,
less than human. Exactly.
less than human. And that's the thing
Exactly.
with narcissism, and you open up to these people, and it's when, I had this discussion just the other day, and it's when, you open up and they make you feel so protected and so loved and understood. So you open up to them. And then what you do is you open yourself so wide that they go, that's the spot. And
Mm-hmm.
then they keep working on that spot, and everything's fine. Everything's hunky-dory and lovey-dovey until one day, bam, and there's nothing, you feel there's nothing you can do about that. And you think, oh, what did I do? And they'll tell you what you did because it's your fault,
It's your
If
fault.
you hadn't made me do that, and so you then go into, right, okay, so next time I'll do something this way. But you can't do that because you're not playing by your rules. You're playing by someone else's rules,
You
and they change as the days go
every
along.
day.
They
It's a new thing.
change.
You can never get it
So
right.
so you're forever chasing your own tail, trying to get things right. It's exhausting. So while
Yes.
you're exhausted and beaten down, where do you go with that? You know,
Yeah.
and so many people, think that they're in that by themselves. That there aren't millions of other people out there, but there
Yeah.
really are. And I did the same thing. And to the extent that my spoke about my book, and I put out the first chapter, and one of my cousins read it and phoned me and said, I never knew your story. And I said, because I never told anybody.
Yeah.
And this is what we do. And it wasn't until I started speaking out that things started to change, and I started to gain the strength and the healing on a daily
Yes.
basis that I needed. And then that's when I then developed the program. And lo and behold, it actually worked. And then I thought, you know what? If this works for me, it can work for somebody else out there. Even if it's one person, it can work for
It could
somebody
work.
else.
And that's my next question for you because time always flies when we're having fun. But what are some of the steps that you took that brought you to your healing from those toxic relationships? What are some steps and tips that you can give to our viewers tonight to help them if they find themselves in a toxic relationship?
So I'll talk briefly then about the program. So the first thing I did was thought, like you said, I went inside myself. How can I come to terms with this? And so I revisited my past, and I developed what I call trauma triage, and went through all of the emotions that are attached to all of the different events that happen. And very often when you're with a narcissistic person, what will happen is, so I'll give you the best analogy for that. The best way to describe that is like holidays are a great one. So you're looking forward to this holiday, say it's 7 nights. Night 5 comes and everything's been beautiful up until then. You think, oh, we've turned a corner, we've turned a new page, and you start to relax by about day 5, and then bang, something will happen, something will kick off. So you've got this memory that you'd love to keep. However, every time you think about that, we're emotional beings. We live on our
Yeah.
memories. Memories are a way of showing us the way forward. And, we create a pathway, don't we, with our memories.
Right.
They
Yeah,
lay down and we take
absolutely.
our next step. Yeah. So, but
Yes.
you've got this pathway that's sprinkled with shards of glass now. So you're forever walking on eggshells and walking on tiptoes. So so I developed this system where you go back and you're able to separate out these memories, so we can still keep the memories, but the negative side of those we can become at peace with, and we can look at that and think, okay, it's an event, it happened, this was my part to play in that. I now forgive myself, I forgive the other person, I forgive the whole situation, and then come back to the present and look at all the different emotions that you hold dear to that. We separate them out. Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they neutral? And it's amazing how what's positive for me might be negative for somebody else, or
Right.
neutral. So it's the importance that you put on that.
Okay.
So so that's the first thing I did. Then I decided, you know what? I now need to own that. Own everything that's happened in my life up until now. If you own something, you can do something about it. It's the difference between renting a home and owning a home. If you rent a home, then you can't
You're
change the wallpaper,
restricted.
change
Yep.
the
You're
curtains.
restricted.
It's
Exactly.
somebody else's. Yeah, you own your home. You can put on a new balcony. fix it up,
Yep.
put an extension on, put a pool out your backyard. It's yours. So you own that then.
Yeah.
And you own
Mm-hmm.
it, and you be proud of who you are. You say, yes, that happened to me and I was there, but you know what? I'm here now.
Yeah.
And today is the start of my next new day. And every day you wake up, you say, today is the start of another new day. And it's another chance. And you can open your eyes, you've got breath in your body, you've
Yeah.
got life. That's your new day. And then the other thing is, again, going back to women and always putting out, fill your life cup. Self-care. If
I
you're
love
giving and giving
that.
and giving 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 some more and giving some
Mm.
more, it totally exhausts you, rips you to
Yes.
shreds. You've got no resources.
Yeah, you're empty.
So mm,
You're empty.
you're empty. So
Mm-hmm.
you fill your life cup. When that overflows and comes to your saucer, you can give from your saucer, and you've not depleted your
Yes.
own resources.
I
So
like that.
yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
like
self
that.
care is a
Listen, I
big
like that.
thing.
Fill your life cup with self care and not give of your cup. Give of
Oh,
the overflow from your
overflow.
saucer. Come on here,
Then you've got
Suzanne.
you.
Come on here, girl. I
You've
love
got
that.
enough to
Yes.
give. If you're overflowing, you can give, because then you give with a grateful heart, because you're not taking from
Yes.
your own resources, and you can bless and edify others in that way.
Come on, listen. I was going to ask you, I was about to ask you what's the one word you want to leave with our viewers tonight. But you just dropped that thing.
Edification.
Look, you just dropped that thing right
Edification.
there. Yes. Listen,
Edifying.
I'm sorry. I done got so excited off of that one. Are there any more steps before? Listen, I done cut you off. Are there any more
Oh, there are
steps?
quite a few more. However, if you're in a situation, that's the a really good way out. Look at where you are. Look at where you've come from. Get
Yes.
help. You know,
Mm-hmm.
get help. I had help. I am a healer. And I have a healer, and I had help from my healer.
Yeah.
And I prayed, and earlier on we were talking about Reiki, but I only did Reiki because I used to, from a very small age, people would always want to have me. Oh, let me have Susie. Let me have Susie. I want Susie. I want Susie. Never understood why. And then somebody said to me one day, do you know what? You've got a gift and you have to use it. Okay. But if I said anything to anybody and people would say, oh, touch my hand, and I touch their hand, and it would, if it was swelling, the swelling would go down. And
Mm.
but I didn't have the tools to be able to understand that. So then when I say to people, oh, I'm a healer, I can help, they'd run a mile.
Right.
So I did Reiki just as an umbrella to say, oh, I do this and I trained in this. And people go, oh, okay, that's fine. Not realizing it's my own gift
Yeah,
anyway.
but if you just say God gave me the gift of healing, and so
Absolutely.
they run
Absolutely.
from you. So you got.
They
I
do.
understand.
They
Yeah,
do.
I
They
got you.
really do. Yeah,
I
yeah. Or
got
they
you.
go, to me, no, I cover myself in the blood. And I think, yeah, well, or sometimes I'll say, yeah, but God sends a man. God works miracles through people as well.
Yes,
So, it's sometimes not just a case of standing and saying, come, you know, God will send
He
somebody,
uses
because somebody
people as
has
vessels here on earth to be
absolutely
blessings as well. They,
blessings.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, so that was that. So that's where the Reiki came in. But then with when I did my master teacher course, and my master course, oh my gosh, when I met Sonia, she is just amazing, and we've got this everlasting bond. So it's just brought some beautiful people into my life along the way as well. And you've always got to be grateful for that.
Yeah,
It's the love of,
but
of others
and
that
I was
make
gonna
the world
say
go round.
absolutely, and I love that you mentioned that because that is key. Get help. like sometimes, and we alluded to it earlier when we were just talking about being connected, working in your strengths and being connected with others, because in your weaknesses there's strengths, to complement. But that is very, very important, is that you don't have to go through these things alone. You don't have to. It's a choice. You can choose to get help. You can choose to get professional help. You can choose to get counseling to help you work the steps to get to your healing. It is okay. And it is nothing wrong if you have to seek professional help. It's actually one of the greatest things, the greatest gifts that you can give yourself, is to go seek professional help if you need it. Do that. Don't suffer in silence. Don't continue to die daily from the inside out. Get the help you need so that you can live and you can enjoy the freedom of living. Okay? Make sure you get help. But Suzanne, our time flies. Oh my gosh, I say it every week.
We're
Time
having so much
flies
fun.
when you are having fun. But before we bring this thing to a close, how can people connect with you if they would like to seek your services and or just, I don't know, invite you to speak? If you want to get in contact with you, how can people do so?
Okay, so I'm on LinkedIn, Suzanne Smart,
Yes.
and Facebook, I'm Suzanne Maria Smart. On Instagram, but that's through one of my that's through the healing side. So that's uh, just ju- uh, just breathe Reiki at
Yes.
just breathe Reiki.
Mm-hmm.
And my email is Suzanne, SUZANNE, at just hyphen breathe BREATHE .online.
Awesome. So listen, okay. You dropped a huge nugget of wisdom earlier. That thing got me so excited. I almost got off. So before I do that again, do you have any other or another nugget of wisdom that you would like to leave our viewers with tonight?
I'll tell you what I'll say, that we are all made in God's image. So we all have right in the center of us a golden spark that, when I find that when you go into a toxic relationship, the very thing that attracts people to you is the first thing they want to beat out of you. And it's that
Mm,
little spark, I'm a really
that
bouncy, I'm
golden
very
spark.
animated, I am,
Yes.
I'm out there. And yet that's the first thing that people want to take away from me,
Yes.
is to take away my flightiness, to take away my creativity, put me in a little box or a cage and sit me in a corner somewhere. Each and every
Yes.
one of us have a little nugget of gold inside of us that just shines. And it's our job to nurture that and to just keep feeding that every day. Tell yourself, when you look in the mirror, tell yourself how beautiful you are. When you're going
Yes.
to do something, tell yourself how wonderful you're going to be at it. When you're thinking, you might want to change career, you might want to take up a new hobby, tell yourself that you deserve that. You deserve
Yes.
to be you. And whatever
Yes.
version of you want to be that version. If anybody says you cannot do that, cut the tie,
I love it.
be you.
Two different nuggets, but y'all need to make sure you walk away with it. Did you hear me? The first nugget she dropped, well, I'm going to stop backwards and go. So she just said, be you, nurture and protect the golden spark within you. I love that. Nurture and protect the golden spark within you. And then she said, fill your cup with self care so much that it runs over, and then you give from the overflow in your saucer and not from your cup. Oh, y'all better hold on
Win.
to that one.
Everybody wins. Everybody gets fed. you know?
Give of the overflow in your saucer, not from your cup. Come on now. Listen, this has been such an amazing episode. I love talking with you, Suzanne. I love chatting with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I am so looking forward to the release of your book because I'm sure it's going to be another phenomenal piece of work, sharing your story and just helping others on their path of healing. Thank you for joining me. Thank you guys so much for watching tonight. I so appreciate you. Whenever you're watching, whether you caught the live or if you're watching the replay, again, be sure to share, be sure to like, love, share, and comment. We go back and check your comments. If you leave us one and you have a question or something, we definitely go back and look. But I thank you all for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing. Be sure to check out our blog at recognizingtherealme.com. Again, so grateful for you all. As always, I remind you today is a fantastic day to make a positive impact in the lives of those that are around you. I'm Lynn Tate, and this has been Sip and Chat with Lynn. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.